I don't know about you, but I felt violated and a little bit disappointed, let's just say, when they took away nap time. Nap time was by far the most useful period of school. It was when you could reflect on all the weird shit that happened for the rest of the morning, right? You could understand why that kid shoved his peanut butter jelly in your hair, or you could understand why such and such stole your knapsack or something like that. Like you could just sit down and think about it and take a break. We don't get that. I'm voting that we have nap time for school and work.
I also vote for that.
Yeah, school. I'm glad we brought this up because I was actually on a walk the other day and I was looking at a school in New York and I was like, that looks awfully similar to a prison over there. And I've had that thought before, and it's so true, and it's so fascinating, like how little from school that we learn actually sticks with us because we're just like shoved through. It's literally like a factory, and we're like on a conveyor belt, just like getting stamped, and that's what it is. Like we are machines, we are robots for the system. And especially like when I got into trying out some mushrooms, and started to see that like reality it was just like blank slate. I was like, so the way things are isn't necessarily how they had to be necessary. Like school wasn't like designed into it by reality. Like it was because we are reality, but it didn't have to be that. Like we're just on Earth. We're just wandering around. Like we could just be chilling all day, like doing stuff we're interested in all the time. But we're forced. It's literally a legal requirement to have X number of years at school. And to people who I talk about with this, who are sort of a little bit more caught up within the realm of the system, it's the same sort of people where when we're talking about like nationalism and I bring up how countries are kind of a silly thing, they're like, what? I wasn't even thinking of that. When I bring up like school didn't have to be, they'll argue that, well, then how's the economy going to continue running? I was like, what? Well, maybe it doesn't have to the way that it does, because maybe it's fucking broken as shit. And so it's like, it's a lot of times people, when they think about this stuff, it's like within the confines of what they've been taught and what they know. And it's like within a box, and they're not willing to step outside and be like, oh, maybe the economy, the way that it is, or the way that the US is run, like isn't the perfect way to run a country. Maybe it's not the ideal system. Maybe it's actually super fucking broken, and we just have such a low bar that people think that it's a solid way of running things.